Sarah. Email Sarah@gmail.com. And a password
me and a level 2 vest on me.
of 321 CBA. Much more secure than my password. Cool. So now we have 2 users. But that took a while to write. And look,
yeah, I picked up one of these DPs. One of them guys
that
AK 2 times vest.
Right? We're writing a name, email, and password. Name, email, and password. So when we see ourselves rewriting code over and over again, we know this is a great time to either break it out to a function or give it something else so that we don't rewrite it again. And a function is really the way to go. So what if we did this? What if we broke it out to a function called user? And in here we gave it a name.
The care package at 120, straight south, by the water.
And password.
In the bay.
And inside of here, we said we're going to create a new user with name of name, email of email, password.
Can't even pick up the fucking health. I can't add his health in here. I can't pick it up.
And then we're going to return.
You already went through this warehouse?
We could absolutely do this. This would be a great way to just create a new object for each user we want. Now instead of this, we can just say what user
there's SKS in here too.
Sarah
you ran through this warehouse?
User.
You ran through this warehouse? Oh.
I'll just pass these items in.
Oh, I didn't know there was 2 warehouses here.
Email.
Yeah, I ran through that one house. I gotta go back and get the first aid out of it. You still want first aid out?
And now let's console log user.
Drop that DP and pick up SKS.
Sarah. And look, there we go. Sarah. Email Sarah@gmail.com. Password 321CBA. Right? So this is kind of the start of creating a class. Now, like I said, classes are much more than just shared keys. It's just more than just a plain object. Classes have a lot more functionality to them. So let's kind of go in and look at one important feature of actually creating a class. It's the new keyword. So you may have noticed when I created that user function that I created a capital U. That is convention. It is not a steadfast rule in JavaScript, but it's just convention to tell us that that is a class. It's not a class right there yet, not until we use this new keyword. So all of the magic of class constructors, which that function is considered a class constructor, comes from the keyword new. When using JavaScript, it's going to treat the function as a class constructor and do a few behind the scene things. So let's go take a look at that now. Okay, so let's refactor this to be a class constructor.
I need some files. I don't know why I said that. I need files.
Now on here, when we call the function, we are going. This is where we're going to use the new keyword. We're going to say let user Sarah equal a new user. Okay, so that user is a class. And like I said, usually the vast majority of the time when you see a variable or a function with a capital letter at the beginning, we know that this is a class. Okay? And we can use the new keyword on it. This is not a rule. It is merely convention that everyone in the JavaScript world has seemed to agree upon, right? So that we're going to use this to denote that it's a class. So what does new do? Well, new does a couple of things for us. First of all, it's going to set this keyword to a new object, essentially. This is behind the scenes, okay? It's going to set to a new object.
Oh, you still got a shotgun, dude. There's AKs and M16s and everything.
In the very end, it is going to
I'm starting to think you like the shotgun. I know I got
so we don't have to have a return statement in a class. And we don't have to create our own object in here because the new keyword does that for us automatically. What we do have to do is we now have to set the keys of this class to be on that object. And we do that using the this keyword. We're going to say this.name equals, we're going to say, that makes it a little confusing, so I'm going to go name string. I'm just going to call this name string so that we know that this is referring to the variable. Email string, and we're going to say password string as well. Just so that we know that they're referring to the variable. So now, what's going to happen when we call new? New is going to create a context of this that's equal to a fresh, clean, empty object. And now we're going to be able to set using dot notation, right? We know how to use objects. We know how to use dot notation. We're merely assigning
jump out a window or run or something in a minute.
A key of name to the value of whatever we passed in as name string, right? And we can do that for all of our email string, and we'll do.
There was two teams here hitting shit, so the other team might have hit one side, they might have met in the middle.
Change that to string as well. Okay.
That might be them right there.
So you might see how this could be a little confusing at first.
These doors are closed.
But just know that this is going to be equal to an empty object, and we're automatically going to return this. Now, take a look up here. Right now we see we have a pretty generic object. When we use the new keyword to create this object, we're going to create the user class. Okay, so when we console log the user Sarah, you should say user right next to the object now, so that we know that it's a class of user. And there we go. We have the user class, so it tells us what class it is,
right now.
and it gives us that object back. One more thing is create a method. So let's just say we're going to create our favorite says hello method. We do that the same exact way we would
he's still going. He's going on the side of the warehouse right now.
Right?
He's going around the warehouse and back up to the
says hello. We equal
yeah, he's right here on me, bro.
And
whole
now, this is pretty cool. We can use this keyword
in our right past my head. He just missed
function here. So we're going to go return. We're going to say hello. This dot name. So look at this. What is this doing now? This is creating a method says hello
two teams.
on the
object. We ever see one of those teams get taken out?
The function's going to return hello with this dot name. What is this dot name? It's going to be whatever name string we put in. Both teams are still alive. So we're creating an object here, and that's going to return it for us. So if we say instead of
up on your house right now.
user.sarah, we're going to say user Sarah dot says hello, just like any other method, and we're going to call it. Now we should say let's at 21. Oh, there we go. All right, had a little equal sign in there instead of a plus. There we go. We're now going to get hello Sarah back. The cool thing about classes is this. Raj equals new user, and we can create as many users as we want. All right. Super. Very, very secure Rajas. Okay. So, what if we console log Raj, user Raj?